Oh, okay. I guess we're starting. Hi, we're Jeffrey Lewis and the Jitters from New York City. Actually, we played a show earlier today, and the band before us, what were they called? The Angry Hurt or something? They were from Detroit. They were like, check it out. We're the Angry Hurt from Detroit. I thought that was an interesting way to start.
Easy action.
Easy action. Check it out. We're Jeffrey Lewis and the Jitters from New York City. I really can't figure out how a band could have a set list and do the same set every night or stick to the set every night. There's so many variables with I usually think of a set as sort of like a chess game with the audience where you plan your opening moves and like you sort of have a strategy for like, well, tonight I think we'll start with this and then that and sort of see how what moves the audience makes or how it's starting to feel. Politics, election, here's something I want to say about the state of the nation, the way it treats us today. At school they give you shit, drop you in the pit. They try to get out, you can't cause they fucked you about. Then you're a prime example of how they must not be. This is just a sample of what they've done to you and me. Do they owe us a living?
Of course they do, of course they do.
Do they owe us a living?
Of course they do, of course they do.
Do they owe us a living?
Of course they fucking do.
But they don't want me anymore, cause I threw it on the floor. They used to call me sweet thing, but I'm nobody's plaything. And now that I am different, they'd love to bust my head. They'd love to see me cop out, they'd love to see me dead. But do they owe us a living?
Of course they do, of course they do.
Do they owe us a living?
Of course they do, of course they do.
Do they owe us a living?
Of course they fucking do. But they don't I'm never gonna get. They buggered this whole world up to their necks in debt. They'll give you a lobotomy for something you ain't done. They'll make you an epitome of everything that's wrong.
But do they owe us a living?
Of course they do, of course they do.
Do they owe us a living?
Of course they do, of course they do.
Do they owe us a living?
Of course they fucking do.
How would you want people to construe your material? How would you want people to perceive Jeffrey Lewis and the music that you write and the lyrics?
Well, I love the fact that we're constantly, that I'm thought of as a confessional singer-songwriter, folk guy, because that is an element of what I do, and it leaves us also with the element of surprise. I feel like if every description of us said all the different things that we do, we would lose a lot of what makes a show feel special, because I love the element of getting off stage and having the audience be like, what the fuck was that?
Creeping brain, creeping brain, creeping brain. And as the nights went by, the brain got bigger in the creek there by the swamp. Creeping brain, creeping brain, creeping brain. It ate a dead raccoon and it got larger and crawled over to the dump. Creeping brain, creeping brain, creeping brain. It was soon smart as a dog and then it ate one and had an epiphany. Creeping brain, creeping brain, creeping brain. It should hide there in the dark and grow more till it was smart enough to see. Creeping brain, creeping brain, creeping brain. Then it developed sight one night. By the early light of dawn, the brain could talk. Creeping brain, creeping brain, creeping brain. And it saw the road to town, and so the creeping brain began to walk. Creeping brain, creeping brain, creeping brain. And as the brain was walking, it was talking right out loud, but to no one. Creeping brain, creeping brain, creeping brain.
One of the things that I find enthralling as well is just like there's such a braveness as well. Like so many artists come on stage and they just perform their set as is. They have lyrics the way they are, but you're willing to educate and inform. And is that something that's conscious as well?
Well, I love the idea of mixing in education with music. Complete History of Communism, Part 3, the formation of the Soviet Union. First, I'll introduce two men, Trotsky and Lenin, who led the Russian Revolution. At first, they were always distributing Marxist pamphlets and committing other revolutionary acts. They were always getting thrown in jail and escaping and always getting exiled and coming back. We had these record label histories we were doing for a while.
The Rough Trade one's brilliant.
Yeah, I just think it's a great territory for music to go in, and it's almost too easy to do because I don't have to write an amazing story. History provides all these amazing stories for me. I just have to figure out some way of making it rhyme a little and doing some illustrations maybe. And it's something that I haven't seen that many other people do, so I don't really have to be that good at it to be the best at it, because I'm the only person doing it. See, fighting against better industrialized Germany, the Russian army lost more soldiers than any army in any war in history before. And they started to say to each other, well, we could keep getting blown apart for the sake of our rich leaders, but what the heck for? Because the commanding officers who send us out to die, they're our landlords. They're the same ones who tax our land and tax our bread. We wouldn't have to go die in their stupid war or be starving and poor if we just got smart and shot all of them instead. So in February 1917, there were massive uprisings. The Tsar knew his time had come and he just gave up and went. And power went into the hands of the rich parliament called the Dumas, which became the provisional government. But this group still did not give land or food to the peasants. Plus they continued to unpopularly fight World War I. All those disgruntled soldiers and workers across Russia were still angry and still wanted a bigger change to come. I don't know, I've always had a hard time figuring out if I'm an optimist or a pessimist, because I feel like I see I'm basically I guess a pessimist in the sense that I guess I look on the negative a lot, but at the same time when everything seems so negative, the slightest ray of positivity is just that much more intense in contrast. So I always I try not to write songs that are downers, I feel like the real challenge is to look for the way of looking at it, or the little twist or the little moral at the end that puts it all in a perspective that makes it okay. Defense is nothing less than war, and no one but the government knows what it's for. Oh yeah, they say it's defense, say it's decency. My lie, Hiroshima, know what I mean. The same lies with depressing frequency. They say we had to do it to keep our lives clean. Well, whose life? Who are they talking to? I tell you one thing, it ain't me and you. And their systems, Christ, they're everywhere. School, army, church, the corporation deal. A reality based on fear, a conspiracy to stop you feeling real. But they're wrong, I say they're wrong, I swear they're wrong, I know they're wrong. I ain't quite ready with my gun, but we've always got our song. So I've been banned from the Roxy, okay, banned from the Roxy, it's okay, banned from the Roxy, it's okay. I never much like playing there anyway.